Airbus is currently evaluating the future of its commercial airplanes division, and a new A350 model could very well be part of that. The CEO of Airbus, when speaking with Aviation Week, discussed the prospective new A350 model, the means to evolve the wide-body program, which has become truly a global success. As part of his comments, suggestions were made that a possibility to counter some of the 777-9 sales was to move ahead with a longer version of the A350 model. You're therefore extending the capacity of the A350-1000 even further. The 777X is a plane that remains uncertified. However, the 777-9 model inside that family remains the direct competitor to the A350-1000. The latter has been certified for quite a period and has been able to gain a lead over the 777X, it must be said. While details on the prospective new A350 model, which will be introduced at a later date, potentially remain scarce, they indicate the continued focus on innovation that is unfolding at the manufacturer. The company suggested that the further stretch, which is just a possibility, had no specific timeline attached to it. Airbus sees the possible new model as more also an evolution of the program. With the requirements for commercial aircraft only continuing to evolve, a new A350 model would offer greater range and capacity compared to previous models, highlighting the innovation and the need for more seats into congested markets. Actually, something that Dubai-based carrier Emirates has continued to put forward as quite a problem that needs solving sooner rather than later. A prospective new A350 model is something that has been long speculated. However, it has not been the subject of any formal discussion or action since really the COVID-19 pandemic, dubbed at times the A350-2000 or even just the A350 stretch. During different points of the 2010s, this prospective aircraft was seen as a natural extension upon the A350-1000 to help replace super jumbos and combat sales for the 777X. However, despite internal interest from Airbus, it was ultimately not pursued. In fact, the last time an Airbus executive mentioned it, it was stated that priorities lie elsewhere, and the A350 program had just become perfect. No further innovation was necessary as it would risk cannibalizing what had already been done. Additionally, Airbus has reaffirmed time and time again that it doesn't want to overcomplicate the product line, especially now in 2025, when there are still already challenges in maintaining output rates. Other concerns are that a prospective stretch of the 350 model would render the A350-1000 as obsolete. In turn, like I touched on only about 45 seconds ago, you'd find yourself in a position where Airbus are cannibalizing a currently popular variant of the program, and given the A350-1000 isn't exactly 35 years of age, you don't want to deter sales of this program. All in all, the prospective new variant follows a desire to close the gap with the 777X and lay a foundation that sees fewer customers feeling the need to move towards the Boeing long-haul jet, especially as only more quad-engine wide-bodies begin being retired. The retirement of these larger aircraft poses questions for plane makers, who we know are not building natural replacements, just as much as it does for airlines that require a replacement knowing that it won't be of the exact same capabilities and they will need to find an alternative option. So could a new A350 help close that gap? Something I'd love to hear your take on down below. But what is next for this program? Despite some internal interest in developing a new 350 model in the future, there remains obstacles to overcome now and also some very exciting new endeavors that need to be launched first. For the manufacturer's passenger aircraft portfolio, the upcoming A350-1000 ULR is set to debut with Qantas, marking a significant milestone for not just the plane maker but the Australian flag carrier, describing this as the final frontier of travel. This ultra long-haul model will enable non-stop flying for over 20 hours and break the previous restrictions imposed on airlines such as Qantas that were not aided due to their geographical positioning. It means Sydney to New York, Sydney to London can all be conducted without a single stop. Another exciting endeavour also in the works is the launch of the A350F. This is a game-changing move by the manufacturer in a bid to combat the long-term success that Boeing has enjoyed in the cargo market. The jet has already attracted interest and that has materialised into firm orders, and despite some recent delays, it does spell a new era for the manufacturer as they chase market share in this sector for the long term. Away from the positives, Airbus is more than aware that it needs to resolve the many many ongoing supply chain constraints that have affected the production of the wide-body series. Among other things, the prospect of a new A350 model, well, it remains very exciting, and it wouldn't be the first time such a development has been mentioned. However, now seemingly with more legs, it presents profound discussions to be had about what is next for this program, whether it is that A350 stretch, a natural evolution with new engines, or something in between to get Airbus greater market share and continue to take away from sales of Boeing. Obviously a key goal for them. Keen to hear your take, let me know down below in the comments. Thanks for watching, take care, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for your next industry recap, as the 2025 edition of the Paris Air Show is only moments away from commencing. And you know what that means. If you've been around for many years, enjoy video after video of all the latest breaking news immediately into your subscription boxes. And we'll fly.